Daring Tambong, they say, Sabzanda, I show you. Sabzasena, Sabzazo, then I get at the beg, men Sabzazo, choose your body, Lavamari, the Sabzari, Lavamari. Sabzasena, Kayena, Sabzazo, the Kayena, Maronson, Sawate, Yapo, Hako Mason. Yapote, Hako Mundu, the young Tapaja, Labredo, the men of I don't know, this is Google.
So Rinpoche will begin this morning by giving a few words of advice to those of us who are uninformed. And so this is not exactly the formal Dharma teaching, but we can say it's a few tips from Rinpoche. So these tips are like a little advice from someone who knows to those of us who may not know.
Lama Tomjiga, one mobile now, then one now to Tambondana, one the Tormatan, Bomba, Niores, that was all Timatan, Zalat and Mombo Yagandua, Tigaman, one the Then the yachts and the Lama Chogachi Sungua, then Choga tell Mandrava, your Cap Gabsu, Daji, Denji, Punji, Sosola Songudu. Gab Gabs Choga Jege, Daji, Denji Punji, two check the Jegayori, La Ganguyori. The Choga is Mandrava Latri.
Generally speaking, if we have been around these great lamas for some length of time, inevitably we have participated in or seen these initiations or these ritual performances. And Rinpoche talks about these empowerments with regarding the objects which are used. For example, the sacrificial cake or torma, as it's called, and the vajra and ganta or bell, and the damaru, the little hand drum, and so on. And all of these are part of the these are all part of the ritual performance. And likewise, during the ritual performance, there are different kinds of visualization going on, whereby we involve ourselves in the process. First, one develops oneself as the divinity, or the divinity is visualized in the sky in front, or the divinity is visualized in any one of the ceremonial vases called bumpa, of which there are two.
Nanga Yaptana Rumbochi Yayekan, Satige Yayekan, Tigu Uso Yadanga Hati Gangoyore. Teni Niembasuna Kaso, Tiyadan Lago Kole Ishike Ditsi Jan Partne, Teni Pumbati Ditsi Yokan, Teni Pumchi de Tarsong, Tiga Hati, Redu Shone, Detsike Chodon, check the Rine, Pumchi la Tendawa Gangoyore.
So, with reference to these two vases, then the principal one, called the Tsobum, is the one in which one creates the divinity through the practice of the development stage meditation. So in this ceremonial vase, one visualizes the divinity, yesterday for example, Amitabha or so on, surrounded by his entourage or attendants, and then by the prayers, offering, supplication, and the mantra recitation. With this visualization, then a rain of wisdom nectar descends, thus filling the vase, empowering it, and this becomes the vehicle for the empowerment.
Tendriga Lake Gongo, it's a leg of Pombagona. Then they want now do Tambo de la Leg Pombati, Charanton, Chuchi, Lugan to us. Then they low now, then they are not on Tongo Yarn, Tony, teach the Ma Pogo. Then so long as Jim Cordon Joe Yondu, Luma, yes, then Tapar Sepe Tap. Tambo de la Day, yes.
The second vase is called the Leki Bumpa, or the vase of activity, and inside this are the ritually empowered entourage, the attendants of the principal divinity, and this vase is used principally for the activity, or the activity of the divinity. And regarding the Vajrayana mandala empowerment, then this is the pouring of this water, receiving it, is the skillful means by which one purifies the obscurations of body, speech, and mind. Sometimes this purification is carried out using the skillful means of a mirror. If each person were to receive the water, then this would take an extremely long time when large numbers of people. So it's okay for the tent, but she says we don't have to open it too much. Yeah. And so when large numbers of people are gathered, it would take too long to pass the vase each one. So the mirror is used. The mirror collects all of the reflections of our faces and forms, and in this way the mirror is ceremoniously washed, thereby purifying all of us. And when one, at the end of the empowerment, passes in single file to receive the initiation and the blessing of the ritual implements, then this is the establishment of the connection and the receiving of the ritual. And to this, Rinpoche comments that in Europe, the discipline and the manner in which people file by is extremely commendable and a very wonderful way. In the East, for example, people often, it's a very like mass herd type of instinct. It's not uncommon for people to suffer sprains and dislocations, and even some people die in order to take a long life initiation. Bodala, mi chisom sewang utopi jutsu.
Lama Lekshe koro nyom yabo yore. Koro pe nyom cherang to yuma charso lan drone dane lama chembo ga wano pepa mombon zang do na man ta lan do na ta gre. Jihu la song na pache set up jagun koro to shok chembo yore.
Lama Lekshe hat viel Erfahrung damit.
Rinpoche said this is from experience, that in the East sometimes it's dangerous to stay in the middle of the initiation, so everyone stays on the outside. There's not even enough space to move. You can be like a sardine.
Dani on shone le undu lama ki jela le des dani da go do charang sa. Pena go go do zupo khote te des ma gor go do. Dani wang de no de lama ga de kyo na la gor go de. De na rong zong lu ge dambu lu ge zo chi shu de pena to shu de go le wa. Dani wang go de go ni ma gor go yo le. Then Charanson, the Hako, your Charanson, Mishiva, Miziva, Mishiva, yes. Charanson, then he left the Lama Lavaka, Puba Tashada, Dura, Tabato Tali.
So, when we pass in front of the Lama to receive the ritual implements, blessing, then it's customary to bow our head. And this has two reasons. First is a sign of respect, and secondly, the head is the highest part of our body, and the highest part of our head is the crown of the head, and this is the purest part of the body. So this is where we receive the empowerment. And in order to enable the Lama to place the ceremonial vase on this part, then we bow our head. And oftentimes, through the simple act of unknowing, then we pass there and look the Lama straight in the eye and receive the vase in the middle of our forehead. Rinpoche said this isn't a conscious act, it's simply that we don't know. And so once we understand the sense of it, then we can bow our head and help the process.
Bumbaga nangla, then Bumbaga, that's a chotlugo yoda. Then the Bumbaga chote, Mamma gong yadu, Jankurga laga gola, that's a panitiga, that's a yadan laga goya, that's a chipades. Telang around to Sanab yore. Then is Sanab yore, the Mangashi, Yansan Hakoman, then the Lapa said, then Dawati Sina Yabondo, Yan then Dawasina Yabon, Yangashi. Don't make a jandavo, in the on those. Then I chose you, Lona, chop water. Did it, Gerald? Coro post of the shepherd bed, Dodo. I don't know.
As we receive the blessed water from the vase, then we also might better understand that this water is by virtue of the visualization that we have done before of the divinities in the vase. This water is the wisdom nectar or awareness nectar of the mandala divinities. So as we receive this, then this is the means by which we receive the benediction. So when we approach and the vase is poured, then either by cupping the right hand over the left or the left hand over the right, then we receive this substance of blessing and partake of it. And Rinpoche demonstrated quite clearly how unknowingly sometimes we just make a sieve with our fingers and the water simply pours through. And in understanding the sense of this water, then one can make a small cup with one's hand and drink it. So this water is not a hair tonic, but it's meant it's meant to be drunk.
Jimin gashi jig zan ha ko men du se. Ben na bogo den dana khor. Bogo den dana khor na laba yamba de yabu yore. Yen na yan laba yamba zan bomba se men du pon. Laba yi ban de se ge do wa. Na bogo yore. Te su ka de ge yo ba. Ma de na che ban me do de po pen dong do wa. De zan ni de che long de ha ko mo. Bogo den dana zong yo na pon ji ndi ge se go gon do. De na nga rong tong bogo le. Bogo dana yo na pon ji ndi se go gon do wa. Ndi ge le de nga rong tong bogo le. Bogo dana yo le.
Likewise, women with children in their right arm think sometimes that you have to take the water in your right hand. So if you have your baby in your arm and you can't get to the water because there's a baby in the way, so take it with the left hand, Rinpoche said. Likewise, use it the other hand, which is free, and this will make the things much easier.
Then Lamanga Hige, Sandi, Swan Nang was Sundi. Then Sundi Nang do. Then Sundi Nang Sadu, Sundi Naru Kela said Sani, Narang Lanson Teen, the Ling and Chunian and the Randup and they go those. Sundi the Island Sudden to pay. Then Sundi Kona saw Rogan to us. Then the Sundi Jojo, then Lamega puts in the Tela Sanabio. Then Yang Rimbo Kela Matana, you might take the Naru Kela, dog go on those. There Lanson Sundi Kela, you Tawan on the Narang, the little Dupat, Narang and they go on those. Mimi take a seat out Yang Rimbo Tana, Yapoli. Young Rimbo Matasana, you might tell a Tana Narang Sanabiora. Then Sundi Kela, Yacht Hawa, Yam the Narang Dupat, Narang and they go on those.
Likewise, the other substances, things given, are, for example, the blessing cords or the protection knots. Then, many times when we receive this piece of string around our neck, then we just wander off and don't really know much what to do about it. So, as a result, it falls on the ground or gets lost somewhere, and we never really are conscious of it. But she said that this string contains a knot, a special knot, which is then blessed by the empowering Lama, and this brings a spiritual benefit, a blessing. So, as soon as one receives this, then one can tie the knot to secure it to oneself, and then keep the string as long as one feels. If one keeps it a long time, this is good. If one keeps it even a day, this is good.
Tenga Lama Mombo go Wang Mombo Nang Yungere, Wang Tongji, Jikbarawa, Charanson Tendrawa, Hakwana, Tata Lomson Tendrawa, Chinjorma, Kale, Kale Tendrawa, Yela Yana, Teni, Kale, Yaporin was.
So many lamas are giving many initiations, and these empowerments are all basically of the same form. So understanding all of the meaning and symbolism of all of these things, then slowly we can mature ourselves and understand them in the right way.
Then Sony da Situ Rinpoche Pebing was. Then Situ Rinpoche no Turji Jata Sambangambo. Then Jata Sambangambo Turbari. Then is on the Tang Aronson Tavayana, Komsong Tavayana, then Southern Rangan Racing de Kamapatusun Chamba Homarewa. Then Southern Rangan Racing Country Tangborewa, they Kamapatusun Chamba Homare. Then Ramba Yandama Jane, Tata Situ Rinpoche Indigo Kokuma to Soto Pema Wang Churewa, they continue Chuchik Parewa. Continue Chuchik Pare. They Pado continue Chuchik Itela. Tongi Gabgaso Kamapaga, Lamanzi, Gabgaso Kamapaga, Romanzi, then Tata Duji Karma Consonga, the Nipan and Aron to Jepatamo, my Patege, the Niconi, the Jepatala, Yendo Mandravaga, Lama, and Aronso, Kama Consonga, Sony, Yendo Mandravaga, Lama. They into that, Sony Te Pegori, Tigan, Gachu, Togorita, Naronso, Tongi, Garvazambo.
So tomorrow we have the great good fortune to receive Situ Rinpoche. And Situ Rinpoche is an exceptional Lama without parallel in the Kagyu lineage. He is an emanation of Maitreya Buddha, and the first Situ incarnation was a disciple of the Karmapa, whose name was Dogun Rechempa. So throughout the series of Situ incarnations, of which Situ Pema Nyingche, yes, of this Situ is the 12th. Then the 11th Situ Rinpoche, Situ Pema Wangchuk, was the Lama of the 16th Karmapa. And so tomorrow, Situ Rinpoche will...
Southern Rangan Racing is on the Soto Pema Wangchuk Pardola, then Kaka Lama Kamapa, Lama, Roma, Tema Soto Pemanizi, Lasso Palana, then Soto Kanga Lapkundua.
So, throughout the history of the Situ incarnations, then the Situ Rinpoche has sometimes been the Lama of the Karmapas, sometimes he has been their disciple. And all the way down to the 11th Situ, Situ Pema Wangchuk, who was the guru of the 16th Karmapa.